at least another 15-20 minutes before we head in for lunch. This is our vineyard manager, Mike Rogers. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hello, how's everybody? I've welcomed all the other groups, and they keep looking at me like, well, we've been welcomed like 4 times now. So.
We feel very welcome.
Good, yeah, I'm glad you feel welcome. I'm not going to welcome you. So. I'll let it rain. Please. So, I am Mike Rogers. I'm the vineyard manager here at willakenzie. We'll give you a little snapshot here of what's going on this time of year. We'll explain a little bit about willakenzie, what we're doing. And then at the very end, we're going to let Stephen show and tell the tractor here. So, to start off with, who knows the name willakenzie and why?
It's from the Terrior, the soil.
The soil, yeah, the soil series. So it's a combination of Willamette and Mackenzie. Those are 2 rivers in the area, so they threw those names in together. So you got willakenzie. It's our soil series. Anybody know what kind of soil?
Volcanic, metamorphic.
Sedimentary.
Volcanic is Jory soil. Willakenzie is marine sediment. So at one point, all this was underneath water, the ocean. So as the ocean goes, you know, sediment is laid down, carried from rivers. So willakenzie soil is about 25, some people say 25 to 40 million years old. So when all the plates were moving, well, they're still moving, I guess, out in the ocean, so about 50 miles off the coast, there's a pretty good sized plate in a subduction zone. Everybody knows, if you're from California, you probably know all this. So the next big earthquake's supposed to happen here soon. So they're all moving. So when one of the big earthquakes happened and everything was stirring and causing the coast range and the Cascades, a lot of the soil got lifted up from the bed. You know, there's older soil, but this willakenzie soil sort of got flipped up on its side. I don't know if that makes sense. It's really wasn't that simple, but to simplify things, that's what happened. It all got lifted up. So if you see a lot of the ridges around here, the higher side, a lot of this is willakenzie soil. We're not the only one with willakenzie soil. It was just, we got the name before anybody else tried to use it. So Yamhill Carlton AVA is what we're in, a lot of willakenzie soil in the AVA. So it has a lot of sand and a lot of silt. The bedrock is sandstone and siltstone. So that allows for good drainage. We do get some rain here sometimes, not all the time. If you want to move here, I'll tell you it rains all the time. You probably won't move here.
No, they keep coming to Seattle.
It probably rains there too, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So the summers are actually really nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it. They're pretty nice. But if you can make it through the other 5 months, then you can handle the summer. So all that rain will go through the sand and silt, and then this has enough clay that it will actually hold nutrients. Nutrients don't stick to sand and silt. They have a really low cation exchange capacity. Everybody knows that from their science class, right?
Yep.
Good. Well done, you guys passed. So, but that clay, it's got enough here to hold. Grapevines, they only need like 2 to 3 pounds of nitrogen per year, which is pretty low, considering you see all the growth from it. But the more nitrogen you put on, the more shoots you're going to grow, and longer and faster. And that's not what we're looking for. We're trying to grow fruit. These guys. Yep. We're not trying to grow wood or green tissue. So we try to keep nitrogen to a pretty small input. Is anybody familiar with LIFE?
Yeah.
The certification?
Yeah.
Yep. I've been that a couple times already.
I don't know anything about it. Can you guys? I was just seeing if somebody knew, so they could tell me. Oh, okay. Well, you guys know all that. So we are LIFE certified. So everything we put on the field is pretty safe. You know, I'm not worried about what's going off into the stream. I don't want to mess with harsh chemicals. That's crazy. I don't want to put one of those crazy hazmat suits on to, you know, walk out in the field. I want to be able to come out and enjoy myself. You know, this is sort of my office, I guess.
Nice office.
Yeah, some days are better than others. It'll be a bad day here in a second. So one thing with live, some vineyards actually like to use herbicide underneath their vines to keep it all clean. I'm sure you've seen vines where it's all completely nice dirt. There's no growth showing up. We don't use herbicide. We don't want to put any harsh chemicals down on our soil. So we use what's called a grape hoe. So it actually mid-mounts on a tractor, and it has a blade that can come up and down. So you go to the end of the row, you drop the blade down, and as it comes through, it cuts and when it gets to a plant, it has a bar, a trip bar. So when that bar comes back, it releases a hydraulic pressure on that weed blade, and that blade comes back. So as it goes through, it goes shh, shh, and comes back and goes all the way through. You can see what it does at the bottom. It just cuts all this. So this will all be dead here in a couple of months. We'll make another pass, and it all cleans up and looks pretty nice. Cool. And that's just one way we can keep our inputs down to a minimum. We don't want any harsh chemicals out here. We want to keep it all I wouldn't say organic, but sustainable as we can. I think once you go, I won't go on that soapbox. Yes.
On the video that we've heard, it said, I don't know if I misheard it, but it said you hand dig blackberries. Like, are blackberries like prevalent out here? Like, do you have to dig them out? I don't know. Like. Yes, blackberries are. They're invasive species in Oregon. They will grow everywhere. You don't have to. If we sit here long enough, we'll probably see a blackberry come up. It's sort of the way they like to grow. And yes, we do go out and hand hoe. That's, I would like to go spray something and you just walk around. But no, we got shovels. We dig, try to get the roots out so it kills everything. Yeah. So they're really thorny. Yeah, they're not fun to deal with. No, they are a nuisance.
You're a pain in the ass to dig out.
So,
leave the cuttings down as mulch, or do you
yeah, we just leave it there. Yeah, and we don't touch it. Once we cut it, we just leave it all there. Anybody know why you would bench graft vines before you plant?
Phylloxera.
Yeah, got it. Phylloxera. So all of our plants, even on the 92 and 93 side, that's where you're looking over about 43 acres. Everything we have is grafted vines. When Bernie bought the land in 91, they started planting in 92. A lot of folks in the valley that already had vines were making fun of them because they were buying grafted plants. They were like, "Why are you spending all that extra money for grafted plants? We don't have phylloxera." And he's like, "Well, what happens if you do?" Yeah. And he was like, and then soon after, people are ripping out vineyards now and replanting because phylloxera has shown up. Yeah. And so, it really got hit hard, like 95, 96. Going through there, maybe, more recent stuff is showing up on rooted plants. So if you see, this is the American rootstock at the bottom. Then this is your clonal wood right here, and then this right here has 2 canes because it's an end plant. So, any questions about rootstock or anything like that? Yeah, like what is it? Like, is it like what are they called? A Norton or a? Well, there's a bunch of crosses of rootstock. So they had a couple of vines and they breed them together, and now you have, like, I think this is 101.14. It says on the, I should probably know this, but 3309. Like I said, I probably should know that. Yeah, 3309, 101.14. So it's a bunch of different rootstocks. Like, we have 101.14 throughout. This side of the property is 5C. There's all different types of rootstocks, and now people are, like, even more recently, there's different stuff, and I'm not going to get into all those names or numbers. But what we were looking for here is something that basically slows down growth, because we have so much water here that they will grow. So we want one that's very low vigor, trying to slow these vines down so they will produce more fruit.